What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Post Pro podcast. This is episode 16, and we don't have Sebastian today. But that's okay.
No, may he rest in peace.
Yeah. Every episode he's gone, he probably died.
he's dead for that week. He's dead in our hearts. I hope he watches this. I hope he hears me say this.
All right. So how are you guys doing? We got a tropical storm coming in.
Yeah, it's supposed to be just skirting up the coast, though. It should be missing us.
Yeah,
and it's a tropical storm, so
it's not. Yeah, it's not gonna be awful.
I mean, us Floridians, we've gone through some stuff before. We know how to.
Yeah, for sure.
Take a hurricane.
God, I didn't have power for 6 months after.
Wait, 6 months?
No,
6
okay.
months?
No, I'm stupid.
Half a year?
No, I didn't have power for it was at least a month and a half. It was pretty long.
I mean, that's still pretty bad, but that's
six. Okay,
we lost it for 4 days, and we were dying.
Yeah, I was missing out. Why did I say 6 months?
Movies. All right. Yeah. Movie news. Oh, I saw this was. I thought this was kind of funny. IndieWire just did a report on Bryan Singer's X-Men. Just kind of throwback or whatever, talking about it. And in the report, they said that Michael Jackson, of all people, auditioned to play Professor Xavier in the first X-Men film.
Yeah, I saw this too. I kind of didn't even think about it because it's not really news, but it's really funny.
I just thought it was funny.
I wish he did.
I mean, no, I wish
no,
that would be amazing.
Patrick Stewart was the right choice, but maybe in an alternate.
You have your opinions, I'll have mine.
In an alternate universe, Michael Jackson played Professor X.
Yeah,
the X.
Pretty fantastic.
Wild to think about.
Very.
And there was a quote in that article that kind of made me laugh because they were talking about he mentioned to Bryan Singer, he was like, I think I really want to play Professor Xavier. And Bryan Singer was like, well, we are looking for an older white man, the character. And he's like, I can wear makeup.
Yeah.
just strange, really strange.
Very
it's really funny.
Yeah. Another thing I thought was this is just weird. Netflix has officially launched variable playback speeds for movies and TV shows. I don't know why you would want to.
Yeah, it's pretty silly. I remember they talked about this months ago. Yeah. The only reason I could think about it, if someone's really looking in depth, looking for them Easter eggs, I guess, and going frame by frame at 0.2 or at quarter speed.
See, but I don't think anyone will use it for slower speed. If anything, they're just going to put it on 2 speed so they can get through an episode of Floor is Lava half as fast or something.
Hey, don't make fun of the Floor is Lava. Yeah, pretty unnecessary.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. I thought that was strange. And then last thing I had written down, didn't have a lot, but Denis Villeneuve in a recent masterclass interview called Dune his dream project. Wow. So I just thought that was cool. Really looking forward to Dune. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me too.
And 3 years from now.
3 years from now?
Yeah. It's going to get delayed again.
Oh.
Again?
Yeah.
Did it get delayed? I don't think it got delayed.
No, it's not even delayed. Yeah, it never even got delayed. It was just one of those that was just going to come out way later. Shit, we haven't even seen a trailer for it yet.
No.
Damn.
That's true. We've seen a lot of stills, though.
I don't know. I guess I just group it so much with Tenet. That in my mind, it should have been out by now.
I guess, but they're literally, they were supposed to come out 6 months apart.
So. Yeah. Well, I know, but it's just those were the 2 big movies of this year.
Sure.
So I guess that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense. It's just funny.
I guess all I got is that first images for Disney and Pixar's new film, Luca, came out. And I mean, there's not much to say about it. It's 2 kids jumping off a mountain. That's all the still is. But Disney, I mean, Pixar's rolling out films right now. They're not taking their time.
What is it about? Do we know what it's about? Because I hadn't even heard of it until you mentioned it.
The film will introduce a boy named Luca as he experiences an unforgettable summer in a seaside town, the Italian Riviera. So
Okay.
just
I mean,
a really good summer.
I feel like by looking at the title of the movie and the still, you can kind of deduce that information.
All right.
Sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm
This,
seeing a picture now. Yeah, coming
This
of age
comment
story.
says Pixar said, "What if Italians had emotions?"
Okay, great.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Did we have anything else? Noah, you have any fascinating?
Well, did you guys see the Amy Adams, the new announcement for her movie?
Oh, I did see
No.
that. I forget what it
So
was, but
it's called Nightbitch, and it's about like Amy Adams is playing someone who's convinced she's slowly turning into a dog,
yeah.
which again isn't like we don't really know that much about it. I just think it's kind of funny. Like it's a funny title, a funny concept, and sounds interesting.
I don't
That
know
is-
how like they're really gonna have to realize their concept and not like try and I don't know. We'll see. I feel like with Amy Adams in it, I feel like that's someone I can have a little bit of trust, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because that's the kind of concept that I hear of like, wow, this is gonna be one of those movies that's just that bad.
Yeah, I
Like
think
Love
Amy
and
Adams
Unleashed.
is. I mean, I guess I don't really know who else is like attached to it necessarily, but
Mhm.
it seems kind of like a prestige thing and not like someone wrote it in their basement or something. Because
Yeah.
obviously, like if it were, a B movie, I'm sure it would be pretty bad. But it seems like it could be maybe good. Who knows?
Maybe.
Does that have a title yet, or is it just like not even in development really?
Night Bitch, I said.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Night-
My
Night-
bad.
It's one word. It's just. I mean, that's like arguably the funniest part about it. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know, that's
Yeah,
a pretty
that is
it's
weird.
an interesting concept.
Yeah.
All right. Well, lackluster
Let's get
movie
into,
news for the day. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's happening. Who wants to go first?
Collin, would you want to start us
Sure,
off?
I'll try. I can start it off. What I watched this past week. Okay, here I am. Start off the week with a documentary. I almost forgot the word for documentary. It was a documentary from the 60s called High School, and it's just a candid look at high school life in Philadelphia in the 60s. It was kind of interesting. It's not even like structured in a way. There's like no narration, not really any
Oh, really?
plot. Yeah, it's just kind of images of kids and teachers and parent-teacher conferences and gym. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of boring, not gonna lie, but it was interesting just to see how things have changed in the school system since then, but also how a lot of things have stayed the same. And I thought it was neat. After that, I'm still continuing my DC animated binge, which is I'm almost halfway through. I'm almost halfway.
That's saying something because you watched
Yeah.
like 12 in 1 week.
Yeah, no, well, but like this thing, the pack I have has like 35 or something. In
That's
it.
insane.
And that was just up to 2017, so there's been plenty more since then. Yeah, I watched the Justice League Dune, which is definitely one of the better ones. Great voice cast. It's weird though. So this is a direct sequel to Crisis on Two Earths, and they replaced the entire Justice League cast. And it was kind of bothering me because I was like, there are some returning people, but the main characters, they all are different actors. Just weird, but it was good.
Yeah.
After that, I watched Life of Pi, which I had never seen. This was for the first time I had seen it. When it came out in 2012, I just never saw it. And it was fine. I thought it was good. Finale was really good, like the big reveal in it, and the imagery was great. Visuals were fantastic. I can't even remember what I didn't really like about it, but
yeah,
it was good. After that, rewatched a film called Free Fire. It's just a isolated location, a real-time sort of drama about these mobsters in Boston. Arms deal goes wrong. Everyone starts shooting at each other. And it's actually a really fun movie. All the performances are really good.
Pretty stacked cast, yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Charlton Copley is hilarious in this movie. I'm a big fan of Charlton Copley. And he's great in there. Armie Hammer's really good. Cillian Murphy, Jack Rayner. I mean, everyone's good. Even Brie Larson is good, who I'm typically not really a fan of, but she's good in it. After that, So there was a movie on Tubi by the same director, Ben Wheatley, called A Field in England. And I just had to watch it, and I really did not like it. It was really boring. I had no idea what was happening. It was all over the place. I just didn't like it. And funny enough, it's actually rated higher than Free Fire. So I'm in the minority.
Yeah, it seems a lot more serious than Free Fire too.
I mean,
At least by how you described Free Fire.
It is, but it isn't. Like, there's a really weird tonal inconsistency going throughout a Field in England. That was part of the thing I didn't like it. It started out serious, but then it got really goofy. And then I was like, huh? And then it got, in the finale, it was like super serious and dark and almost horror-esque. And I was like, this is too much. It's not working for me. It just didn't work. I mean, it looked nice. If you're interested, you could check it out, Thomas. After A Field in England, I watched a really bad movie a friend recommended, Walk to Remember.
Oh, did he recommend it because he liked it, or?
Oh yeah, she loves it. It was like one of her.
Nice.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to take your word, even though it's definitely not my thing, and it definitely wasn't my thing.
Did you tell her? Like, did you break the news?
Oh yeah, she read my review, and she thought it was funny.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, this is it just wasn't my thing at all. I thought it was horrible. I thought it was really bad. Simple as that. After that, I rewatched Superman vs. the Elite, which used to be one of my favorite ones when I watched these DC films, or half of these, a couple years ago. It doesn't hold up that well. I mean, it's fine. The storyline's interesting and all, but it just wasn't really as well made as certain other ones. After that, I went to Disney a couple times earlier this week, Monday and Tuesday. Went to Animal Kingdom Tuesday, and walking around Pandora just made me go, I want to watch Avatar again, And so I rewatched Avatar, and I like it, it's not bad. Obviously, technically, it's incredible. Visuals hold up a lot better than some movies that come out today. It's pretty amazing. Technology and visuals of it. It's just, it has such a weak script. And I wish the script was better to where I would really love it, but it just gets bogged down in like narrative cliches, and the dialogue isn't good.
Yeah. I mean, I agree pretty much completely. So
yeah, but I still enjoy it. It's a great looking movie. After that, I decided to rewatch Chicken Little.
I see that you still have a little heart next to it, to the 1.5 stars you gave this masterpiece of cinema.
Part nostalgia, part legitimate enjoyment. I watched Chicken Little so much as a kid. My mom honestly loves Chicken Little. She still loves Chicken Little. So, I mean, it has a stacked cast. I kind of forgot like how good the cast is. And it's honestly, it makes me laugh quite a bit. I can't deny I enjoy it, but it's a really like poorly made movie. It's just not good. I was surprised to see how well the animation holds up. Actually, it's not as bad as you'd think it would be. And yeah, I mean, it's sure like it's a little dated, you know, but it's not as bad as some movies were at the same time. So I looked up the budget, and I was blown away that Chicken Little had $150 million budget.
What?
That's probably
what was its box office return?
I'm sure it made a lot. I'm sure it made that back.
Yeah. It made $314 million. Okay. So it doubled.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably worldwide. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what a strange movie. It's honestly a ridiculous movie. It's so weird. And kind of bad, but kind of good at the same time. Yeah. Chicken Little. We could honestly do a whole episode just talking about Chicken Little if we all watched it,
Okay.
That'll be my next pick.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
You really want to rewatch Chicken Little that close in between?
Probably not. No,
that's like a monthly film for you?
Funny enough, as I was looking through like popular reviews of Chicken Little, there was a guy who watched Chicken Little for 24 hours straight. And he did a review for each watch. And he was like, this is my Chicken Little marathon part 1. He gave it like 1 star. And then as he continued, I saw like up to part 7 or 8. It was like at 5 stars. He's like, I have transcended understanding Chicken Little. It was actually really funny. I
refuse to believe that he actually did it. Not because I hope that he didn't, just because for his sanity.
No, I think he actually did it. I think he
insane.
had Chicken Little on loop all day.
I need to find this man.
Yeah, I need to find.
I need to see what his top movies are or something.
But that was funny. So enough on Chicken Little. After that, I watched Michael Clayton, which we'll get into a little bit later, and then today I watched a childhood staple, a classic, How to Eat Fried Worms. And
I see you're back on your old trail of giving fantastic films a half star.
I knew you were gonna
Yeah.
for that, but it's really bad, but partly enjoyable. I remember like as a kid when that came out, everyone was watching that. It was like the summer movie of.
I've seen this.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you did.
Yeah, no, I have. I completely forgot about it until you brought this up.
Yeah,
I never thought. Oh my god, I never thought I'd think about that again. I think I watched that in my 7th grade civics class.
Why?
So weird.
Because my 7th grade civics teacher showed a lot of random movies.
All right.
That's right.
Wow, I remember seeing it whenever it got released on home video or something. But yeah, it's a wild movie. Eating worms, it's really bad.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say. It's free on IMDb TV if you guys want to check it out.
Will do, Collin.
Yeah, probably not.
And that's it. That's all I watched. So Thomas, you up next?
Yeah, I'll take it away. On my usual trail of doing other things, I only watched 4, but it's not awful.
I mean, hey, that's more than normal.
Damn. Okay. My average for the year is still like 7, so I just gotta get it back up there.
Yeah, because you had like earlier, when we first started this, you were going off. You had like 16 one week or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's no Noah, but
How the Mighty Have Fallen.
Yeah, that's 16 is close to my. I mean, obviously, because sometimes, like when we did that 2-week break, I mean, I had more, but that was 2 weeks, so.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I started watching my Criterion stuff. The only one I didn't get around to was Seventh Seal, which I'll get around to next week. But I started the week off with The Fisher King, right? And I've never actually seen a Terry Gilliam film besides the work he's done for Monty Python, not only being in the comedy troupe itself, but directing the films. And I mean, The Fisher King is kind of what I expected. While Brazil and maybe 12 Monkeys is definitely not what I would expect, The Fisher King was just right on the nose. Because it's kind of insane. Because do you guys know much about this film?
I had never heard of it before you logged it.
Well, it's about Jeff Bridges being like this radio guy who says something really fucked up and then like completely loses his job, and he meets up with Robin Williams. And Robin Williams and him Robin Williams is a homeless man who can't remember anything about his life and is completely insane. And Robin Williams and him go on a quest to practically find the Holy Grail and become better people. It's something else.
Is it a pretty spin-off of?
Honestly, it's another film by Terry Gilliam that's main focus is the Holy Grail. Yeah. But it's great. I mean, it really like showcases Robin Williams at his best, because there's a scene where he strips nude and just rubs his ass on a New York park. So
the whole park?
He literally goes, "You ever wonder why dogs rub their ass on the ground? Because it feels great."
Wow.
Oh man. I mean, Robin Williams was truly something special. That man was, it was a treasure. But I mean, it's honestly really good. I think
I see it's rated really well too.
Yeah, it gets kind of logged down by a couple tropey things, especially near the end, where I'm like, you didn't need to do this. You just did this because this is like a 80s thing that's just like, we gotta have this character have like this great conclusion and all that. But I'd recommend it. If I ever want to borrow it, I have it on Criterion. It's pretty damn good. And if you like Robin Williams, then I can almost guarantee you'll like the movie. Jeff Bridges is good too. Then I finally got around to Before Sunrise, which is really, really good. It's just like the snapshot of like kind of perfect romance.
Did you get the trilogy on Criterion or?
No. So in the film club I'm in online, it was the movie of the week, and so they had a download link for it actually.
Oh, okay.
Off someone who owned it on Criterion. It was really, really good movie. I don't know what else to say. I don't think that's one you talk about. It's just like something that you watch and you experience.
Yeah.
It's an experience. It's not a movie. It's an experience. Then I watched Michael Clayton, and today I watched Paris, Texas, and Paris, Texas is really, really fucking good. Once again, I just how much do you guys know about Paris, Texas?
I mean, I've heard of it. I know it's got the guy from Alien, Harry Dean Stanton. That's it.
He's stupid good in it. But like, it's just about this guy who knows absolutely nothing. He gets really sick, and he's taken to a hospital, and his brother hadn't seen him in 4 years, and it's like kind of him recouping his life and figuring everything out again. But I mean, it just looks beautiful. The story is really interesting. It's really interesting how like the family dynamics throughout the film play out. It's another one I really recommend. That one's fucking fantastic, and it scores amazing, but also has some of the best cinematography that I've watched in a movie in months. And even if I haven't been watching that much, it's still kind of crazy. I'd really recommend just looking at some of the stills from the film because damn good. All right, and that's it for me.
All right, so let's see. I started out the week by finally finishing my Ongly binge. I mean, not really a binge, but whatever. With Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, which I kind of expected to hate or find boring, especially at like a 2-hour runtime, which seems kind of excessive for something like this, which is just like a very simple story. But it's very weird in that it's like explicitly shot for like 120 FPS and 3D and like all that stuff in a way that Gemini Man really isn't. Like there are just so many things like in the movie that you can tell are like, this is like not like normal at all. Like the main character specifically, and I think everybody else is wearing like little to no makeup, so you can like really see a lot of his acne, which is just like not something that ever happens. And like the lighting on it just looks weird. So I think it's interesting to watch, even if like obviously it's pretty much impossible to watch in the original format anymore, especially right now.
Yeah.
But I think it's, especially when you've seen a lot of Ang Lee's other movies, at least worth like seeing it once. I probably won't ever watch it again unless like I get to see it in, the full format. But yeah, I mean, I at least enjoyed it and wasn't fully bored by it, which was kind of what I was expecting. Next I watched Manos, The Hands of Fate, which
yes,
like, it's just incompetently made. Like I don't really know.
I was so surprised when I saw you log that. I was like, no one watching a really bad movie.
Well, I did watch it for, like, I watched the Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode on it, which has, like, riffs, and it has, like, a bunch of stuff over it, which I haven't seen that many episodes of it, but, like, even this one ended up getting, like, really boring by the end, just because the movie itself just has, like, really, like, nothing. It's, like, it honestly surprised me how much, like, it was just, like, there's nothing there. Like, there's really nothing to say for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give credit to the guy who made it, because I mean, I think the story goes, one of his friends was like, "You can't make a movie," and he was like, "No, I'm going to make a movie, show you up," and then he made Manos Hands of Fate. So
that's a legendary tale.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
So he didn't write it. Did he just buy the script somewhere?
Did he not write it? That's crazy.
Did he not write it? No, I thought he wrote
no, it. No, he did, but when I clicked on his Letterboxd, like the profile for like a director, profile for an actor, it only say directed and acted in Manos. It didn't say he wrote it. But when I checked the
that's weird.
When I checked the crew, very strange.
I guess they're like listed as different entries for some reason. Probably because he only ever made one movie, so nobody really bothers to update it.
Right. Yeah. But Torgo was fantastic. He was the best part of that movie.
I mean, I guess by default, yeah, because what he was doing was so like weird and just like not anything really. Like I don't even know like what he was doing. I mean, it's
I think
definitely like interesting in a way that nothing else is really.
Right. I think I read that he was on LSD the entire production.
Wow.
You know, that makes sense.
Yeah, which makes it funny to look back on.
Yeah, definitely. So
My camera does not want to focus.
yeah, I was gonna say what just happened.
Jesus Christ, what happened? There it
Anyway.
goes.
Moving on, we watched Logan Lucky, which was one of the first Soderbergh movies that I saw. And I mean, I still like it a lot. I think it's very good, easily one of his best. Definitely not like my favorite, but up there. Not really a lot to say because it's just like a heist movie in the South. Yeah, I don't know. I think the performances, directing, script, like everything is just top notch, like always.
Fun movie.
Okay, and then I watched Peter Bogdanovich's What's Up Doc, and after that, Paper Moon, which were released back to back, 72 and 73. And honestly, the more interesting one, and definitely the one that I liked more, was What's Up Doc, which is like it is a screwball comedy, I guess, but it's very interesting in that, like, it is, like, very clearly Barbara Streisand is playing, like, a character that is, like, very similar to Bugs Bunny in that, like, she doesn't, like, have any motivation in any scene other than, like, to cause chaos, which is, like, very, I guess, like, it throws you off at first. Like, when you're first watching it, you're like, what's going on here? Like, why is she acting like this? And then eventually you just, like, come to accept that, like, the only really motivating factor that she has is just to, like, be in a movie and cause chaos to the people around her. And the final set piece, which is a car chase in San Francisco, is, like, both filled with insane gags and it has, like, insane production value. There are, like, I mean, spoiler alert, I guess, but it ends with, like, 5 cars being driven into the bay, which is great.
Wow.
And there's, like, a great glass pane gag that's really funny. Yeah, I mean, just, like, a lot of great stuff, especially in the last acts. But, I mean, I really enjoyed all of it. And then Paper Moon, I think it's higher rated in general and just, like, considered to be a better movie. I ended up liking it a little bit less, but it's still pretty good. It's more of a drama than a comedy, although it certainly has comedic elements. I mean, again, it's just one of those movies that is like, you watch it and you're like, yeah, it's like a good movie, not really much to say about it.
Sure,
I didn't find it transcendent or anything, but it's just like about this guy and well, okay, so I guess like a little bit of a digression. But so there's this young, like, 6-year-old who is the real life actor's actual daughter. And her mother just died, and her closest relative is like in Missouri and they're in, I don't know, Wyoming. I don't think it really says, it doesn't matter. So anyway, he agrees to drive her to Missouri very reluctantly. And what unfolds then? So yeah, pretty good. Watched Paul Feig's Melissa McCarthy Vehicle Spy, which is, I mean, it's like a comedy. Like, it's just straight up a comedy. Yeah. So again, there's not really a lot to say there.
Yeah, it's like
really funny.
It's just a Hollywood comedy.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen all of Paul Feig's movies, but I've seen most of the big ones, with the exception of Ghostbusters, which honestly, like, I saw when it first came out and I haven't really thought about it much since. I like all of them. But I mean, this one has like a great cast of people who are giving like surprisingly comedic performances, like Jude Law, Jason Statham, along with like obviously Melissa McCarthy, and then like Rose Byrne, Allison Janney is in it for some reason. Crazy. Anyway,
50 Cent's in it. Can't forget 50 Cent.
Oh yeah, well it's like an extended cameo. And
yeah, I see it. He plays himself.
So, yeah. I mean, he is like funny in it, but I feel like it's very hard to like bungle a cameo and make it not funny, especially in a comedy. Watched Richard Jewell, which is better than I was expecting, I guess, but that's like pretty much all I can say for it. I think Paul Walter Hauser does a really good job in the lead role, and obviously Sam Rockwell also, I think, does a really good job, and I guess the co-lead. Still weird that Kathy Bates got an Oscar nomination for it, but whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, really? Honestly. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad performance. Like, it is, it's like very obvious why she got it, because, she's playing a real life person and she's like an old actor who's been around for a while and hasn't really gotten like a ton of recognition. And she does have like a scene where she breaks down crying, which is always
Wow.
great for nominations.
Yeah.
Um,
I know there was a big snub in that category. I'm still pretty peeved about both the popes getting nominated. Then we don't get like Defoe. We don't get
wait, were both popes nominated? I
both
totally
popes
forgot
were
about
nominated.
this. That's so weird.
Wait, was it both? I thought it was just one.
No, both the two popes were nominated.
That's so weird.
Wait, no, I think you're right. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe it was like one in lead and one in supporting. Actually, yeah, right.
That's probably what
That's
it
what
was.
it was.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It was that.
what
Yeah.
was I saying? Richard Jewell.
So, are you starting a Clint Eastwood marathon of sorts?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably watch a few more. I haven't necessarily I guess I liked Sully a lot, but that was kind of surprising for me. And then this one, I was like I said, just kind of better than I was expecting. And I'd imagine that if I started to watch like a lot of his movies, especially because he had so many, I would get bored of them pretty quickly.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I'll probably at least watch a few more before I fall off for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Then I watched Michael Clayton, which I guess we can talk about now.
Okay, we're back. See, now I set up we're back, so it makes it seem like there is no there.
Oh.
Aha, gotcha.
Yeah. Ooh.
So before we move on to Michael Clayton, I just want to mention I got some other Criterion picks the other day. Went Criterion shopping again. And before The French Dispatch comes out, I'm thinking of doing a Wes Anderson.
I was like literally thinking of doing the same thing next week.
Yeah, so
Oh my
I picked up,
god.
Bottle Rocket, his feature debut on Criterion.
Have you seen Bottle Rocket?
I've seen the short film it's based on. I haven't seen the feature though.
Yeah, because I know people that love Wes Anderson but really don't like Bottle Rocket.
Yeah,
It's
well,
much more normal in a way that is like obvious for just like Reservoir Dogs is like much more grounded for Tarantino.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I like it. I was thinking of buying all of Wes Anderson's Criterions, but then I realized there are 8 of them, and even with a discount, that'd be like $150.
That's $160.
Yeah.
There's
So I was like,
I was about to say, Collin, you have that money on you, just shorthand.
so I decided against it.
Yeah, that's smart.
Good choice.
And then I picked up Terrence Malick's Tree of Life. Always wanted to see it. Criterion looks nice. I'm just
Criterion
hoping
does
I
look
like it.
very nice. Yeah, that's what I'm interested in too.
Yeah, because I'm just hoping I like it because I've seen 2 Terrence Malick's films. I haven't liked either of them. So I'm this will be the one. And if it's not,
I know Badlands you got on Criterion, but did you get the other one? Was that also Criterion?
no, I saw that one in theaters. Hidden Life that came out last year.
Oh, yeah. For part of me just thought it was Thin Red Line, just because that's the other famous one.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I mean, I ordered all of the Christopher Nolan films I don't have on Blu-ray, so they're coming in. I got Inception on 4K.
Oof. That's gotta look stunning.
Insomnia. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't have a 4K player or a 4K TV, so I'm just gonna.
But eventually.
Eventually, yeah. And then I got Memento. I have Interstellar and The Prestige coming in later. But yeah, excited.
Okay.
Yeah. So Clayton.
With that, a seamless transition to Michael Clayton. Honestly, I guess I don't. I mean, kind of like always, I don't really have that much to say about it. It is, I think, I don't know. I mean, it's just like a great legal thriller, I think. And I think my thoughts on it on the rewatch changed kind of, not like a lot, but more significantly than I was expecting. Definitely more so than A Fish Called Wanda. So the first time I watched it, I was like really confused. I was like, this is like insanely convoluted. And I can't really follow it at all past like the first 30 minutes. And this time on the rewatch, I was like, what was I thinking? Like, it's definitely not simple, and the direction is very like, it really like makes you like, and especially like the way Tom Wilkinson, especially, but also like George Clooney like talks. It's very like hard to follow what they're actually saying, and like with Tom Wilkinson, I feel like you just kind of get more trapped in like his vocal patterns rather than the actual words that he's saying. So I think that threw me off the first time. And like I still don't understand it completely, but I was like, this is like way simpler than I remembered. And there are only like 3, like the 3 main characters are the only people that you really need to care about in terms of the actual plot, and everybody else is just kind of filler, which I don't mean in a bad sense. I just mean like if you're actually trying to follow the plot, they're not really that important.
I definitely think that there's points where like the thriller was a bit unnecessary, or the filler, like with like the brother side plot, and like even the kid, like where
Yeah, I agree.
obviously that was just like you could add more to the main story rather than just trail off away from it.
You could have, but then it wouldn't have been as great of a movie. So,
And
yeah,
maybe because you obviously rated higher than I have both before and after the rewatch, but maybe it is because Thomas and I have just seen it for the first time.
Yeah,
I think that's fine.
You know,
I was definitely like really blown away by it the first time in a way that I sort of, I mean, I guess, like I said, wasn't, especially because I could follow it a lot better. But I still think it's great. I think the bit with the horses is like just really good. Like, come on, guys, that alone is worth like at least a 3.5.
No, the first like half hour, I was like, wow, this is really good, and then it started to lose me. It just lost me, and it got really boring.
I definitely
it got convoluted, like you said. And I was like, what?
I definitely think the standout in the film is the 2 points where Tom Wilkinson like starts monologuing, like we're over like the bleeding scene or like bleeding dialogue, right, where he starts monologuing. Because Jesus Christ, those monologues are insane. They're so good, like they're so like menacing. Like I was like so gripped by that first one. I was like ready for this ride.
And it does a good job at like you don't exactly know what's going on.
I raised mine
part.
Thinking about it in the past. I did end up giving it 3.5 even through the issues I had. But I will also say that I didn't think that Clooney or like even Tilda Swinton's performance were that good, especially for like a standard that I held them to. But while like besides that, like I thought Sidney Pollack and especially Tom Wilkinson were just insane. I mean,
I thought all the performances were really good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something wasn't there for me with, I guess, the two main characters.
Yeah. Well, who do you mean by the two main? You mean Tilda and George?
Well, I'd say Tilda and George.
Sure. I mean it kind of depends. I think
it's
more of it,
mainly a triangle.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, I don't know. I guess I'm obviously like way more invested in Clooney because I like a lot of Soderbergh and Coen movies, which he's in. And he's in kind of like a similar mode to those, but like a little different. I mean, George Clooney is one of those people who's always like kind of given the same performance, which is both good and bad. And the same is honestly kind of true of Tilda Swinton, where she's always like a little like weird,
a little neurotic. Yeah.
And I guess they're not great performances, but I mean, it's just like, and obviously like Wilkinson is way better, and I guess Pollack is better, although he's in a lot less of it. But yeah, I mean, I still like Clooney and Swinton's performances. I don't know. It is kind of weird that she won. Yeah, it is kind of weird that she won an Oscar for this, but I guess there wasn't. Like,
she did?
Did she really?
That year? Yeah.
Huh, I knew Clooney and Wilkinson got nominated, but I didn't look up the Tilda winning.
I don't know. She's not even in it enough to warrant Oscar. I don't know.
I mean, but like 2007 was like a good year for movies, but a lot of like 90% male movies. Like what am I saying?
No Country and There Will Be Blood being the big two.
And Zodiac.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one. I guess I should say that, especially with Tilda Swinton, it was mainly the dialogue where I didn't love them. Where usually that's not something that would disappoint me towards their performances in many other films.
Really? I didn't have any problem with any of the dialogue, honestly, or with the performances. I don't know. That was just me.
I guess it's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think like the direction and just like the style in general, like everything, like soundtrack, cinematography, is a lot more interesting than the script. Although I think the script is good, I don't think it's like transcendent in a way that like a lot of, like again, I keep coming back to the horses. Like the horses are just like one of, like it's crazy that that's in the movie. I don't know.
No, it's
so weird and great. And
it's a really cool scene because I was expecting his car to blow up. I was like, oh, and then 4 days earlier, I was like, okay, here we go. And then things just started to unravel. I became less and less. It just became more and more confusing, and I became less and less interested. And to where it just got convoluted and boring. And even the ending, though I liked the ending, it just felt like it was missing something.
I definitely like the ending. I think after Arthur, I think after Arthur dies, spoiler alert, it kind of falls off for me a little bit. But it's definitely the point where the movie is supposed to kind of lose all. It seems like, I guess, at the main point where everything's like kind of coming to a close. But it just didn't really keep me as interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I found it more. I think like the first time I watched it, I kind of found it more, not necessarily boring, but kind of like what you were saying, like where I just kind of like watch it and I'm just like not absorbing anything, so it's kind of impossible to keep paying attention as much. And I still think that like the first 30 minutes are definitely the best, like everything up to the flashback.
Definitely, I would agree with that.
But yeah, I didn't really notice as much of like a drop off in my attention this time, which was fun, I guess.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed the ending, even though it was pretty like campy and pretty
I mean, campy is not exactly the right
word. Campy,
but like
it's
obvious or cliche.
Obvious cliche, yeah, cliche is the word I was looking for. But I just love him turning around and saying the whole Shiva, I'm Shiva, the goddess of death line.
No, I think
such
there's
a badass line.
It was a cool ending. I just felt like I was like, that's it. I felt like, I don't know. I think because of everything that was like in the middle of like the plot, I thought there was going to be some sort of more of a like reveal, or
I mean, there is a reveal that he doesn't want the money. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's I don't know. That's not really like a reveal. I don't know. I thought it was leading up to something greater, and though I liked the ending, it just felt a little disappointing.
Sure. I mean, I guess again, like the first 30 minutes are really good, so I guess it is maybe slightly disappointing, but I think it really works, and I feel like it's kind of hard to come up with an ending to like this movie specifically, where so much of it is like weird and confusing, and like unless you want to like verge into like full ambiguity, it's kind of hard to come up with like a good ending without like having just like a very clear like this is what happens, these people are good, these people are bad.
I guess so. I guess it comes back to I think there was just too much going on, or too many things introduced that didn't really go in directions that felt complete. Like Thomas mentioned, the whole brother subplot, or even like his kid. There were a lot of characters that just kind of seemed unimportant in the
long run.
In the long run, yeah.
I mean,
everyone kind of does serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just didn't feel fully wrapped up, in my opinion.
Sure.
Maybe
the brother stood out.
The first time I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Obviously, like, also, I definitely liked a lot more on the first watch than either of you. So, I mean, I can't fully say, like, oh, it's obviously better because I've seen it more times.
Right.
But, and I wasn't even really going to mention this because I didn't, like, think that much of it necessarily, but I do think the brother actually worked a lot more for me this time, where he's, like, the only person Michael can really trust, and it's never really, like, overplayed in a way. There's just that, the last scene with him, I forget where exactly it falls, but where,
he picks him up in the car.
Tom. Yeah, he picks him up in the car, exactly. And, like, it's very clear that even though, like, and even before the brother is, like, actually introduced on screen, it's very clear that there's, like, a tense relationship between the two, and you're not necessarily clear if they like each other. But especially with the way the rest of the movie unfolds, I just think it's very satisfying, but again, not in like a super overstated way, that like the two of them still have like a relationship that they can trust each other, even though Michael can't really trust anyone else. The song I kind of agree with, he's unimportant, but I don't think he's really bad or anything, so.
Sure, yeah. It's not like a glaring issue. It's just like, okay, I just wanted a bit more from certain things. But it's definitely a really well-made movie. I liked the editing, like Thomas mentioned earlier, how it would bleed together. It did a good job of building tension, and you're kind of wondering what's happening now, what's going to happen. It's a well-made movie.
The direction in specific is super fast-paced for like what the film actually is too. Yet it still works.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think there's some points where I thought it was too much, but most of the time it was definitely working for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is literally just like a difference of opinion. I don't think there's anything else
for sure
said that we disagree with.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it on Michael.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say. It's a solid movie.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think anyone really didn't like it. I mean, even Sebastian.
I talked to him because I talked to him about it the other day, and he said, it was well-made, good thriller. He just didn't. He pretty much said exactly what we said. He thought it was a little boring at times, a little too convoluted. I
do love the fact that Sebastian picked it up expecting it to be garbage because he was picking up on his like Goodwill runs.
That is
and then
interesting.
Noah saw it and was just like, I like that movie.
Well,
It's funny.
I'm probably not going to pick this movie now, but the other movie that I was thinking about picking last week was Out of Sight, which is another George Clooney movie. And it also has like a similar poster with his face on the front and he's kind of like looking off to the side.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's something interesting to point out. I don't know.
You need to
Doesn't
make
really have to do-
you need to make a letterbox list of George Clooney movies with posters of George Clooney's face looking to the side.
I don't know if there are any others. I mean, those two are definitely the most similar.
Mhm. You gotta find a movie that doesn't even have George Clooney, but it's just still that kind of poster.
Let's see.
Or just
Yeah, there are like a lot of. I mean, like I feel like Tom Cruise has a lot of movies.
Tom
with
Cruise
posters like
definitely
that,
has
too.
them. Like a lot of like the big action movies.
Yeah.
All right, so when I was picking the rate, I think I said this after the podcast. I was talking about how I had a pick in mind, but I didn't want to like kind of pick my usual type of thing that I'm like, wow, slam 5 stars. Like my like existential dramas pretty much. But you know what? I'm gonna pick it anyways. We're gonna do it. We're rewatching Synecdoche, New York, boys. Let's go. All right.
Good choice.
This is obviously a joke.
Oh, was
But huh?
Was that a joke?
Yeah. I mean, great.
I was. Come on. I was just joking, Thomas. Sorry, I completely threw you off.
Is this Synecdoche?
Okay.
All right, no, but for real, we are back to my usual bullshit in terms of the films that I always kind of rate super highly, and we're watching Anomalisa for next week, and it's something that I wanted to rewatch, and I was planning on rewatching it this week, but then I thought, I'm just gonna pick it. Well, I want to see what other people think of this.
I figured you would pick it anyway.
This is a strange movie, and
True.
I'm very excited to see what you guys think.
Have you seen it, Noah?
Because
No, I have not.
oh my lord, I don't know what else to say besides it's a strange movie. But I'm very excited to see what Collin thinks, especially.
I'm
after
looking forward to
seeing
the animated sex
coffins.
scene.
It's something. It's long and honest. It's not glorified.
So it's not Team America.
Oh man, it's no Team America. I don't know. I'm excited to see what you guys think. It's definitely something.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
so I guess that'll wrap it up then.
Yeah, short little podcast.
Short podcast today. Yeah. So check us out next week, episode 17, when we discuss and review Anomalisa. See you next time.
Peace out. Sleep well.
Sleep well.